This is referee commentation. Here, people, the game is scheduled. If you want to catch more of the game, then you're going to have to tune in on another frequency where you can find out more about the players, the game itself, the coach, more insight from the referee. And however, you won't find out the whole scoop because we are the only ones to get the whole entire scoop from the referees and umpires. Yes, again, this is referee commentation. And how's it going, Troy? Yeah, that's that. Yes, referee commentation. This is a great game, people. A lot of people have been waiting to see this game, and we have to. No doubt, no doubt. Yes. What do you guys think about the other game? Great game. Great. Yes, I think it was a spectacular game. Actually, we got to see a little bit more of it before we left, and you know, we didn't get to see the ending, but it was great. Yes. Yes, I'm getting a lot of great comments about that game there, people. Yes. But Trid, I have to get back with you on that thing about your fan mail there. Yeah, fan mail. Yes. So, people, what do you know? That's who you're going to hear from today, hopefully. Well, I won't say hopefully because usually we only get to hear from the referees and umpires if, there's something that needs of a review or there's something going on within the game or the players or the coach and staff. It's a great turnout here, a great crowd, everything. And we're going to hear from Ankla. No, yes, Ankla. This is referee, not umpire. Yes. Ankla says she has it again this time. I think they've left Ankla to do this one by herself. Ankla has not yet arrived, though. No, Ankla has not arrived. But yes, she's on her way. Um, her colleague of a boss there had a lot to say about Ankla. And here it is, people. Yes, Ankla. What will we do without Ankla? I tell you. Ankla's been around with us for a long time, people, and we're hoping that Ankla stays. She's getting a lot of offers other places, and I believe it is because of you guys. So I'm going to head on back to my colleagues. Wow. I think we're to blame here, people. Yeah, we're to blame. I think that really, of course, jokingly, we can say we're to blame, but before we came along, Angela was getting a lot of job offers. In my referee time, she's very popular there, and she's starting her calls. A lot of people request her. What a lot of people don't understand at the umpire event, somebody requested Angela as well. Yes, I think it was Tennant's colleague there, Tennant's sidekick. Yes, and so this is off jokingly here, and it's serious. So Ankla is very well requested there. Yes. Okay, but this game here is going to start momentarily here. And this game is going to be something like the other game where the pieces We're falling there. We haven't made it back there, but we're scheduled. Yes, I sit on the roster here. We're scheduled for that game. Um, and I can't wait. I'm so excited there. Remember last time I went and checked to see if they had any units available there. Yes. True at the decline. Yeah. A lot of people um, need to know this that that's the um, along with me myself here, we agreed to do the vehicle um, events game there that takes like 6 hours. We agreed to it. Uh, However, this one here, this one here did not. No, 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 no way, no way. Not 6 hours. No. you know, watching those vehicles go for 6 hours is just not in my it's not in my job description there. So you all, if you decide that you're going, I just say, kudos to you. Yes, kudos there. Now, I'm not sure if that game is going to. No, no, I don't. I'm not. Yes, it's going to hit the frequencies. Yes. So, if we show up and we gear up there, and it's going to hit the frequencies. Yes. Okay. The game has begun, people. Ankle has arrived there when we were talking, and I'm guessing she was already in attendance because she's there. And the game has begun, people. Yeah, so true it. Yeah, my mom is. Yes, everybody was just so excited to know that your mother was there in attendance at their last game there. Yes, yes. She actually headed over to another game that I went to, but I wasn't doing anything there. I was just there. I was invited. Oh, okay. Yes. So, possessed of the reading novel. Yes, the reading novel is still going on, people. Um, we have different crews coming in doing the reading novel. The last reading novel ended very well there with the guys and everything. And we're thinking about picking back up on the other reading novel that we presume that began the live reading novel. Yes. Okay, referee. Just did a hold on that elbow there. Great hold on that elbow, referee. I mean, this is going to be a great game. Yes, a great one here. I like the start of it. I like the start of Ankla and her appearance, and her attire. Yes, yes, yes. Ankla's attire there. Ankla's wearing a nice jacket there. Very nice jacket. Okay, so the player there almost picked up the call there. Yes, that was a very, very serious play there. Um, but the player got off with that. Mm-hmm. Again, this is referee commentation. And if you miss any of this, then you can catch it at a later time. We have a referee confrontation coming up soon, people. Yes. Sure. We have your twins that are going to sit at the table there. Yeah, I've did a couple of events that weren't on the frequency there with those twins. Yes. Yes. Anybody that do not know about the twins, they referee their referee umpire. I think they're refereeing their twins there. But they don't show up at the same time all the time. I don't think they've ever showed up at the same time. And I think that happens to be one of their topics at the confrontation table there. Okay. I think Truett is going to pick up a mock on this one. From the twins. Yes. Yes. Truett is going to pick up a mock on that one there. Mm-hmm. Out there. The referee is running hard there. That's a very hard run. Very hard run there. It's very hard run. And she had no choice in that situation there. No, 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 she had no choice in that. That hard run there was necessary. What do you think about our sponsors here, Truett? I think they did a great presentation on advertisement there. Yeah, referee signal. Referee signal. Referee is conversing with the coach there. The coach doesn't seem too happy about that call. I think the coach is probably going to review it. What do you think? No, I don't. I don't think the coach is going to review it. I think that they're going to talk for a second there, and I think that the game is going to be cheerleaders doing their thing there, and you can tell they really rehearsed this one. They have a couple of them sitting out there. Yes, outside of the patchy areas in the cheerleading section, there are some patchy areas over there. Um, just like a mild patch of some areas. Yes. I'm not seeing here where they said that any players were actually not the participation of all the The game has just resumed, people. Yes, it's resuming. Yeah. Wow. There was not much to that play there. You guys, you guys, the game resumed, but then it just paused again. Um, you know, I don't know what is going on here. The coach called me over there a little. I want to use the word timid, but I know timid is not really the sports thing to say. But the coach called me over there, and you know, at first he asked me about the other coach that only handles the anchor area, and hey, ankle, I yes, I know. But yes, the player is Not going to face anything there, regardless of how the coach feels about it. And actually, that is not even that player's coach. I'm off, guys. Yes. So to get a situation like that where a coach is not happy with you and they're not even your coach, true. Yes, that happens all the time. All of the time. Yes. Well, we have some things to do game side, people. We're not actually leaving. So we're going to pick up frequency again towards the finals of this game here. But our other crew is going to take over for now because we have some things to do side game. Again, this is referee commentation. And if you missed any of this, you can catch it at a later time. Um, this is where we get the scoop from the referee or the umpires or any official that is going to tell us everything on the call. You could tune into another frequency and catch the whole entire game. And emergency communication is not what I'm speaking about right now. Actually, I'm looking for something to speak about as a topic. I'm starting to find a couple of games that I'm gonna play here. It's not much of a blogger there when it comes to your actual event. Your block party planner is not going to attend your event involved with. Okay, this is magistrate mediation on air. Yes. And today's cases. Well, it seems like we have a mild case here. Caseload. There's not a lot of people in the lobby right now, but we don't know if that's going to change. Now, this case is titled Beyond Repair, and we have our leasing agent is a male, and then we have our tenant, it is a male. leasing agent.
Yes, I had to forward this to magistrate because the tenant here um, says that all the things that he had on the maintenance list um, were um, in worn out condition at the time of his move in. However, we have the check off list here and we have his signature at the bottom. Um, and that is why we're here today.
Tenant?
Yes, some of that is true. Um, I did receive a checklist. I did go in and I checked off some things. Um, Basically, the things that they had on the checklist. The checklist just basically told me to go in and see if the things were present. And as I seen them, they were present. A lot of things were not testable at the moment because of no electricity. And he stated that my signature was on the bottom, but if he happens to look a little closer, he will see that I also wrote some things next to my signature. Hopefully, he is not getting what I wrote mixed up with all of my signature.
Leasing agent.
Hold on, let me take a look at that page. Yes, I see he left one. No, he checked on that. Yes, he checked that. Okay. It says something about not sure if some of the things is working properly because of no electricity. Okay. Um, I had no acknowledgement that the electricity was not on. Um, you know, hold on, let me go through the rest of these papers here. Let's see here. Well, I have a question. Um, I'd like to ask him. I noticed he did a lot of checkoffs with the checks backwards. Um, I don't know. Some of them are not all the way in the box. They're like in between yes and no. Um, I, I, I'm having a little trouble here with this checklist. I need him to explain it a little thorough.
Tenant.
Yes, you know, I check the box regardless of the direction of the check. If he need me to go down the list, I can right now. Number one, uh, yes. Number two, yes. Number three, no. Number four, no. Number five, no. Number six, no. Number seven, no. Number eight, yes. Number nine, yes. Number 10, I put a check there, but I also uh, wrote at the bottom um, what I had a question about, and thus is the rest of them. the rest of them that I checked off coincides with what I wrote next to my signature. I am a little flabbergasted and upset that he decided to bring me here on a compliance issue when we have no other problems elsewhere. Um, I, one of my biggest pet peeves is um, properties not wanting to do the upkeep and keep their promises. The things that I have on the list that maintenance we're supposed to tend to are very serious things. They're things that can't be overlooked. Lisa, yeah. Well, you have to excuse me for a moment because I got to get a mint because I was smoking a cigar before I came in here, and I don't want to continue speaking under these terms. So you hold on another second here. Okay. Yes. So, um, now to answer his questions, this stems outside of compliance. Of course, there were no other problems with, most of the terms of the lease. One of the problems is I just think that he has outgrown the community. Um, he is up there in age, and I think that we would like to continue further with younger crew. Tenant. I kind of knew that was the issue. Really being that you know, the majority of people there are very energetic and outgoing. Um, I don't want to continue this litigation any further. I don't think we need any more mediation here. I think we're just going to go ahead and go forward with the judge because he is really taking me there right now. Leasing agent. Well, we can do that.
Okay. There you have it, people. They're moving forward with their litigation. On to the next case. Okay, we have this is an interesting one here. Okay, we have a 12 parking issue here with a property owner, and then we have our tenant here. Property owner is a female, and then our tenant is a male. Property owner? Yes. The compliance here is happens to be issue with parking, and we just can't take it anymore on our property. It seems that there are only a dozen parking spaces here for a high rise, and we ask that everyone else park in the garage. This tenant here insists that he does not park in the dozen area. He parks in the garages, he says. But we have piles and piles of city tickets here with a lot of illegal parking, and we just can't keep getting these because our property, when we get these, we have to pay these. They don't. Tenant? I don't.
I don't. I don't park. I've already, explained this that I don't park. I park in the parking deck, and your security is here today. He's right outside, and he can vouch for that. Property owner. Well, we'll just have him come on in. Okay. Property owner. Yes. So, I don't know if you're aware of the continuous pile up of things on our desks, and these piles consist of city tickets from illegal parking from our residents, and we have a whole stack um, um, with his name on it. He says that you can vouch for him parking in the parking deck. Yeah, that is correct. You know, I I hate to be here today choosing sides based on my um, employment position and safety of the residents there. But yes, yes, uh, I on several occasions had to I walk him to his building area because he comes in at odd times, and I can vouch that he parks in the parking deck. If you're getting these tickets, I don't know how. I work basically every shift that I see now. Um, I may need to take a look at the tickets to see if the timing is coinciding with my shift. Other than that, I can really vouch that he is parking in the parking deck. Property owner? Yeah, well, I'll be glad to show you those. However, um, is there any way if I show you these that you can go through some of the audio to see if there is someone else that is possibly accumulating these? Yes, we record. Um, we never stop. We keep those. Of course, that is our protocol. Of course, I don't work for you. I work for the security agency. So you're going to have to get that from the security agency. Other than that, that's about all I can tell you on that. Um, and again, I am apologize for having to choose sides here, but my integrity is part of my position. Okay, property owner. Oh yes, so we're going to go over these, and we're going to have to call or send somebody over to get that. I think we may, I don't know if they're going to, if we forward this to magistrate or if we forward it to wherever we need to forward to for a continuance on this till we get all of the information that we need. Tenant? Yes, it sounds good to me, but I need this resolved today. I can't have this lingering over my head. Um, I've lived up to my end. I've appeared and I've brought in my witness. Um, it seems to be some kind of miscommunication, a discrepancy of vehicle or something. I don't know how you all will end up with my name and all of this stuff. And then, if you're taking it there, then I'm pretty sure you're going to have to check in with the city. Um, can you speed all of this up today?
Property owner, we would do everything that we can do today, and we're going to make sure that this does not have to linger over into another day for you. We just ask that you give a little time today, um, and just hold out and wait. Okay. Well, there you have it, people. There you have it. That's the end of that case. I tell you, that has got to be something there. On every end, every party, even security. I know security hated to have to come into that, and, all this busy schedule and all of that. And, I don't know. That right there is pretty eerie. Here, you know, that tenant there should be very worried. And the property owner as well, but not as worried as the tenant, because when those tickets start piling up, those cause problems. So, not only do that tenant, really need to get out of here today, to go and see about that himself. Um, he also has got to find something to do to occupy his time, because that is going to be an all-day thing there. On to the next case. Yes. Now, let's see here. Um, okay. So uh, we have a family here that decided to lease out their home to a friend, and the friend is here. It's a female, and okay, property family. Oh, you know, this woman never, never surprises me here. You know, I, you know, as we decided to have the home demolished, she just cries and cries and cries on how, just give it to me, just give it to me, just give it to me. And we did just that. We had an opportunity with our zoning state officials to have the home demolished. And they were going to relocate us to another land division and allow us to put up like a $600,000 home. But our long-term friend here of many and many, many years, um, weighed heavy on us, and we decided to go ahead and forfeit that and let her, um, as they call it, do it yourself. And that has caused a big problem. So, of course, we have had to forward this to magistrate, and it has become um, a combined issue along with the compliance here. Okay, tenant? Well, yes. You know, when I heard demolish, I I just didn't think that the home was demolishable. I didn't think it was demolishable at all. I'm sorry. To this day, I keep apologizing, and they just will not accept. Um, fixture after fixture, it just, you know, it started coming to my mind that this thing here is not going to work. So I phoned them,
And I asked them to come out um, and to test the home after what I've did. I did a lot. I put a lot into it. And when he came out, they just added to the problem. Family leasers added to the problem. You wanted us to test out what? You know, we added nothing to a problem. Nothing. You know, I just think that you didn't want us to live out a dream here. We're talking $600,000 home, and here it is 5 years later, and they will not bargain with us again here. And now you're sitting here telling us, and then you told us out there in the lobby, and then you told us plenty times over the phone and in person that we might as well just have that piece of trash torn down. Lieutenant? Our friendship means a lot to me. Our friendship stems way beyond a home here, and I'm just not agreeing to being bashed amongst our other friends and family here. You don't understand what I've lost. I've lost more than $600,000 here. Um, and at first, everyone was happy and excited about it. And I was excited, and we threw a party and everything. And now, 5 years later, you don't even want to look at me. I think that I need not say anything else. Family owners, my dad can't take it. I try to tell my dad, don't go drive by there. But my sister sometimes takes the wheel and takes him by there. Well, I have to. I have to take him by there. I have to take him by there because he needs to see. He needs to see the decisions that he and my mother has made um, out of friendship. You don't have friends to the point where you give up your dream. You know, my dad. Um, I told my dad, you really can just have my wife um, move in with somebody else, and I go with her, and I told my dad that they can just have our home because my dad is a hardworking ex-military man, and they shouldn't have to start over, taking all of their life savings, going out trying to get this $600 home again, $600,000 home again. Um, you know. Okay, hold on a second. She's raising her hand. Tenant. Yes. I understand. That they're a family and all, but when I was dating um her son, you know, I gave him my home, the same home that he is trying to give to his dad. I didn't go and bang on their door and say, "Hey, give me my home back." I didn't do that. I didn't go and bang on their door. Now I consider it a slap in the face here Like everybody is losing their home here. You know, I didn't see him coming to me saying he's going to give me my home back. I don't. I think that he's just trying to move his dad and his mom in there. So I won't say that.
Okay. Uh, uh, Family owners? Yeah, so of course, I am like a half aunt here. I'm not really part of the family, but I have invested money in everybody's home. Um, so also am the one that paid all the litigation here coming out of pocket, and I paid um, for lawyers. Hold on. No, we don't really need you to speak. Do you see a lawyer here? I don't see a lawyer here. Your check bounced. You know, so really, like mediator, can you just really ask her to leave? Hold on. Let me get my walkie-talkie here. Security, security, security. We have an issue here. Okay, family owners. Yes. So, um, I do you see what problems it is causing here amongst our family? It's basically ruin our friendships and families apart here, and we don't know what else to do. We don't know. Okay. Okay, so what is it exactly you all trying to move forward to magistrate with litigation with? Is you trying to stop the demolishing um, that she is considering doing and rebuilding her own home? Is you trying to get the land back? Um, and you spoke about compliance. What was the compliance issue as well?
Yes. You know, uh, yes, we're trying to get the land back. We're trying to stop the demolishing, and we compliance is basically um, the ripping apart of our family and non-communication. Um,
Okay, do you have any paperwork or anything? Did you all sign anything, legal documents and all that stuff?
Most everything that we did um, was on a friendship agreement here. But some of the stuff that we have, like the deeds and all of that stuff, is signature with all of our signatures, and we signed and let her sign on the back. We signed everything over to her, um, and I'm just hoping that she'll just be a friend and just forget all the legal issues and just think about my family.
Tenant? Um, there's no way. There's no way. Um, I ain't upset. I'm done. Um, we can still continue to be a family. Their son stepped out on me a lot, and he broke my heart, and
and I gave him my home and all of that. And then look, he got married. His wife is there right now. And and they sold me a dream as well. And you know, a loss is a loss, and we all have taken losses here, and they need to move on. Thus is myself. Okay. Well, there you have it, people. They're moving on to litigation. Um, the whole entire family against the tenant, which is their friend, and that's that. On to the next case. Okay. This case here happens to be okay. These people here have decided that they want to oh, okay. Oh, okay. So these people here started a business in the home. The business has grown. But the other part of the owners of the business want to move out. These are two men, and the tenant is a male. Property leasers.
Okay. Now, the business is booming. The business is booming. It is outgrowing our habitat here. I'm a business partner of two. Actually, it's really a split business. It's my brother and me, and we went partnered with him. Now he wants to move out, and the only thing is he wants to take the equipment, and we can't have him taking the equipment. We just can't. The generator and the plugs and everything, that stuff, we can't have him taking that. Now the generator came with my home, but it conked out, and we sent in a mechanic. And when the mechanic came, the mechanic had to send somebody out to redo the whole thing, and he footed the bill for everything and went and got all the new parts and rebuilt it. He feel like it's his. You know, um, the mail that we get for our business, we have like 3 different mailing companies. And the other part of the home, which is the wing home that we consider our shipping and delivery, he wants to take everything out of there as well. You know, I can't have him taking the lifts and all of that stuff.
and the scales and the box holders and all of that. He can't take all of that stuff with him. And I tried to tell him that, but he don't want he don't want to understand. He can't take those things. So outside of that, um, we have no problem um, with him departing. It is just that he wants to depart with too many things, as well as the uniforms. And I told him that he can't depart with the uniforms. Tenant? Yes, he told me I can't depart with the uniforms, but am, um, I drive the van, um, for the uniform company that comes out and picks up the uniforms. Which means the uniforms, um, housed on my van. Time to time, when the employees come to the house, they come to my van, they get the uniforms. I'm in charge of that. It's my van, uniforms are there, employees show up, they get the uniforms. So that's how we do it. Um, I don't know why he think I should leave and leave all of this stuff behind. I put a lot of money into these things. Generator, I'm willing to negotiate with the generator. I understand he had a properly working generator, so I have had time to think about it and realize before the business began, he had a new generator that was properly working, so I can take a loss in the generator area. I don't want this to damper our business. Now, as far as the shipping and delivering area of the wing home, what's funny? What's um, property manager?
I I just laughing because you know the shipping and receiving wing part of the home, you know, it is just the titles that this man gives a part of to the part of the home. He thinks because he started the business that, he just, you know, no, it's not shipping and delivery.
Okay. Okay. Excuse me. The mediator has cough. I can't hit pause because this is recording. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that as a mediator. Now, I can't hit pause because they have to play, and then if they hear anything pausing, they're gonna wonder if anything was cut or if it was edited here. So, you have to bear with me. I would hate to get back on walkie-talkie and ask for some water here. Now, okay, property owners, you may continue. Yeah, so, I just find it hilarious that, he, shipping and receiving wing of the home, just because there's a copy machine and a couple of file cabinets and everything, which, we already had those things before he arrived. My brother keeps all of this paperwork there. Um, the actual off room that he's considering the wing room is
actually a add-on room that we had added on there. And yes, we do have the trucks pull up from time to time. Um, and we had a man-made loading dock there. Now, when the recycle truck sat there for 3 weeks, uh, we told him, that he was going to have to pay for that. And so along with that, you will see that we have a list of things before he decides to exit, that he is responsible for, and that is one of them. The recycle truck that pulled up to the loading dock that sat there for that amount of time, is what he is responsible for. He is also responsible for the delivery of the water that we have been receiving. And if, he wants to take that, you know,
Tenant?
uh, yes, I was hoping he would bring that up, but not, in that sentence. Yes, I am um, also taking with me the water company that delivers the water. Um, you know, I'm not trying to be a pain here. What I need to do is I need to take the water. Yes, and I need I needed the generator. Yes, I needed the generator, and I have to keep my truck. Um, I don't have any problem with the other fees. Now, the employee kitchen, you know, as far as the employee kitchen goes, um, I don't know how we're going to do the split here on the employee kitchen because we have a lot of appliances there, uh, and we have the bench and all of that stuff, picnic tables and everything.
Excuse me, y'all. Okay. Okay, tenant.
Yes, and so the employee kitchen is a question, and I need to take those mini blinds and those shams there that we have, and those picnic cloths. Uh, those right there have the company logo on it, and they coincide with the uniforms because you know when the employees come and they get their uniform, they go in and they sit at the picnic table, and they have their napkin area there with their names on it, and it tells them where they sit. You know, well, it sounds to me,
Hold on, hold on. Okay, property owners.
it sounds to me that you are trying to take everything and start a business somewhere else. That's what it sounds like to me, buddy. You know, I.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of people have been watching a lot of TV here. Oh, somebody was laughing in the hall. They must can hear you all. Property owners?
Yes, you know, I, I'm not trying to get upset here, but maybe that's why we need mediation. Now, you want to take all of these things out of here. It's a business here and we're booming. You know, you want us to go and start all this stuff over.
Tenant?
Yes, I think that you guys can handle this. I don't see any problem with us having two locations at all. Um, you're welcome to keep half of the employees, and I take the other half. Um, as far as the loading dock and all of that stuff, that's it. That's part of your home. So of course the deliveries are going to come there. Um, and I would just handle all of the other audience and the office areas and all of that stuff. But as far as the uniform and the cleanings and all of that of the uniforms and everything else, that's on my end. As far as the scheduling and the business owners and locations, that's on my end.
Okay. So, I am the mediator here, and again, I like to apologize for the coughing and the outburst in the hall. But I would just like to find out what exactly, is you all really here for today, besides the fact that you have a split business and one of your business partners decides that he wants to move out. Because it sounds to me like it is more so of I'm moving out. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. Um, and if it's that, then I'm not seeing where this is a magistrate's issue. And I'm not seeing where um, this is a compliance. Okay, property owners.
Well, mm, that is correct. I mean, there's really no issue here with him moving out. Um, he's not held into any um, term here. Um, um, we considered compliance when we looked up, you know, the rules of engagement here as to disputes in our home. We thought this was the place that we needed to come as we did our research. We don't know anything about um, anything other than, and it just said magistrates and it said mediation and compliance issues to give us a call, and that's what we did. Um, so you're saying that none of this can take place here because it's not affiliated with what you do.
Well, I'm saying that this is magistrates, and of course, it's mediation. Um, and it's basically based on issues that you may have with your tenants out of compliance and things in the lease term there. And it is also based on, your home um, and finance and all of that stuff. And I'm not seeing any of that stuff here or hearing it. So you're going to have to present that in order to move forward to magistrate. I don't know how you even made it this far. You know.
Well, I think we may need to go over to the main building and find out where it is we need to be. Um,
Well, I'm not sure that you really need to, because if the issue is just him wanting to take everything that he purchased with him, if he has receipts showing that he purchased these things, and you all, most of the things, like, he's already said that you can keep the generator. Um, Other than that, I'm not, you know, okay, okay. That's it, people. Sometimes we have that happen, and we go through all of this, and we find out that these people are in the wrong place. And of course, I guess they've never dealt with landlord and tenant issues and all of that stuff. Um, it seems, that they have a passion. They all have a passion for the business, and you know, they ought to keep that passion. Yes, they have got to keep that passion. And on to the next case. Here.
Um, okay. So we have, okay. Huh. Okay, we have a property owner here along with the tenant, and they have brought to magistrate to move forward against another tenant. Um, the other tenant that they're moving forward against is a female, and they're both males. Okay, leasing agent and a tenant. Yes. You know, when I um leased to her, I did not think that it was going to be a problem placing her next to him. But as he kept coming in the office and he kept complaining and everything, it led us here at this moment. Tenant? Yes, they complain that I'm using up most of the patio. Um, I knew it was going to be a problem when I moved in, that the patio had no divider. Um, and when I have my galas, I try to keep my parties on my side, but of course, um, I look over time to time to see if they're going to use their side, and they never do. But however, when I decide to have my galas, that is when they decide that they want to use their other side. Tenants and leasing agent. Her other galas, how about a lot of galas? You know, the small handprints on my glass, I get tired of wiping those. I get tired of being in my zone with my family and hearing the little small handprints hit on the glass. You know, from the small handprints to the medium height handprints to the tall handprints on my glass. Um, you know, we have no window cleaners, and they leave their toys and everything. And this is beyond the gala. You know, this is like average, everyday living. Yes, and when she moved in, she said she didn't have any kids. Um, and that's why we're here today. Tenant? Yes, of course, over time, families expand. And when I decided to adopt, you know, I never dreamed that I would have neighbors that would want me to feel guilty about adopting. Um, I am not going to um, get into my children's ears or interfere with their time out on the patio. You know, and when we have our galas, um, you know, I, he should be used to it by now. Excuse me, people. Okay, tenant. Yes. So he should be used to it by now. And I would think that after the time when I continue further into my third term with the community, I figured that maybe
he would be used to it, or they would bring it up at that time, and they didn't. Leasing agent. No, we didn't bring that up. Actually, we were supposed to, and I went through her files, and I got into the leasing agent's toboggle about that. I can't believe that they forgot to mention that. I'm not choosing sides here. He um, has been in several compliance as well, but um, you know, I have to go with a division of the patio, and I don't think that he should be inconvenienced here. So we're going to have to move forward with magistrate here, and we're going to have to ask her to um, come out of this term a little early than usual. Okay, tenant? Yes, he's explained that to me, and I guess that's what we're doing. Okay, there you have it, people. If you only knew how many of those we get a lot of those, I tell you. Yes, all about space. On to the next case. Okay, so now we have an interpreter, leasing agent here. She does sign language. Oh, she needs sign language. Okay, and then we have our tenant here, which is a woman. Okay, leasing agent. Okay, she says that she continuously knows that she can't really hardly hear and talk, and she's using that to her advantage on a lot of things, especially the lease and all of that stuff. And she says that she is comes many times and starts an argument with her on purpose and mocks her, and on several occasions she has been found out the hours of the leasing agent office doing the same thing, and she is starting to be out of control and a nuisance to the community and the complex. Tenant? No, I don't do those things. Um, you know, I knew that when I decided to rent from this woman that she was going to be using her handicap as a defense um, for her snooty ways. You know, um, even here today, she's doing that. She can speak a little, and she can hear a little. Um, I think that the problem stems with it is a love triangle, and she just wants me to exit from the picture, is what I think. Leasing agent? She says, she says that love is the last thing on her mind. And she says that she's not fighting over her man anymore. She don't care about that. She's only here with magistrate and moving forward because this woman right here is non-compliant. Tenant? No, I'm not non-compliant. And we're not going to sit here and go back and forth. Um, you know, hours and hours at end, signing the lease, we began to have a debate, and the last interpreter can agree with me on that. You know, I don't know why, she continues to want to always take the seats. There are other leasing agents in that office, but she is always the first one to want to take the seats and on everything. There's a desk that sits there right when you walk in, and she always runs to the desk and sits there and wants to assist everyone. And then when things don't go her way, then she wants to say that she can't understand or she can't say anything or do anything without her interpreter. You know, um, she doesn't really have to ask me again. I'm here. I'm ready to move forward. Leasing agent? She's ready. She says she's ready. Okay. There you have it, people. There you have it. Okay. On to the next case. Okay. Okay, let's see here. We have okay, we have a homeowner here, and we have the tenant, which is a male here. And the homeowner is a female homeowner. Yes. Now I have got to get my property back. I only have a couple of months left before the real owners arrive, and I expressed that to him when he moved in, that I had permission to rent the place, but it was only for a duration of time, and he has lapsed that time by a lot, and they are due to arrive, and I don't want to lose my job here. So he's giving me a lot of excuses, and he's giving me expected MOD, but I just can't go by what he tells me. I have to really know that he's going to do that. Tenant? Tenant? Yeah. The EMOD is is going to be that. I understand that this is magistrate, and a lot of things that's got to be confidential. But We needed to do this because the owners happen to be of a cartel nature, and I can't have them pursuing me any further after this. I don't need anything hidden or anything like that. Um, and so I did the DMO, and I decided that we would do this and everything of that nature there.
Leasing agent, homeowner. I can understand that. So as long as he's going to um, do everything as he says here and as he says when we move forward, um, I guess that's it. And I hope that he will take into consideration to um, think about moving into one of our other properties because I had no problem with him. Okay, there you have it, people. They're moving on forward with their litigation. Yes. Now, we're going to take a pause here and I'm going to check in the lobby and I am going to grab a drink of water. Yes. Okay. Now, on to our next case. Now, this happens to be our leasing agent, woman, and our tenant woman here. Leasing agent. Okay. Yes. I don't understand why. So much carpets on the walls. She says she's an entertainer, and I understand that. But I already expressed to her no holes in the wall, and that included staples. Yes, it included staples. Tenant?
Yeah, you I dwell in the vocal industry, and because of my voice and everything, my deep voice of nature, I have to have the bull horns attached to the carpet on the wall to bounce off the wall to make my voice sound a little more feminine. Um, I've been a vocal entertainer for years, and I got tired of being stuck in acapella. And sometimes they will put me in bass, and now I am wanting to be, one of the best tenors and altos, real sopranos in the world, and so I, you know, held to the compliance of no holes in the wall, and I just decided to go with the carpet because the bullhorns have got to be up there, on every side of the wall in order to pick up on my voice. She knows nothing about the vocal industry. I've explained that to her. I even let her listen to some of my music when she came to complain, and she just laughed a little bit, and I took offense to it. Um, I think that I'm just not her genre. And I think that she's making a mockery of my career, and I can't, understand why she decided that this is a compliance issue.
Leasing agent? Yes, I don't understand why, I had this problem with the last tenant. They wanted holes in the wall, and I keep telling them you can't put holes in the wall. Um, there are many reasons why we can't have the holes in the wall. I have, in the past had them come out in stucco and all of that stuff. And then I've had to replace a whole wall. But being that we're in a flood area, I tell them, that you can't have holes in the wall because, if there is a flood, then it is going to seep into the walls, and then we're going to have a bigger problem. Um, and even that, um, she expressed that, she uses staples, and again, still with staples, there are holes in the wall, and not only the disgusting carpet. Carpet may not be disgusting now. However, the carpet will be disgusted if there is. It will be disgusting if there is a flood. Tenant?
Yeah, well, the walls have wallpaper. The walls that we're using have wallpaper. Um, you know, Again, I aligned it with other stuff and cardboard. So there really is no holes in the wall. I aligned it with the cardboard, and then I put the carpet there. So when we hole punched the bull horns to the wall, then, you know, we knew that there are really no holes in the wall. Now, if that is our only complaint, I can, make her feel better by actually showing her the whole process.
Leasing agent? Uh, yes, I wish that he would have did that on my other visits. But we're here now. So unless he has something to show me now, we've taken any photos or anything at this point. I would be glad to sift through those, but I mean, we're here now, tenant.
Yes, I have photos, and again, I she keeps referring to he, and that is another problem that you know we're having. Thus as the people, you know, that I've signed with and everything. I don't want to be mocked here or ridiculed in any kind of way. And I'll be glad to show you these. Um, Here are a couple of them right here. And as you can see, that was the before picture. And that was the one. And that was the before it shows your wallpaper there. And it shows that. And then it shows how we were putting the cardboard up there. It shows the cardboard pieces that we have there together. And then it shows us doubling up on the cardboard there. to make sure that when the staples went through, that it didn't pierce anything. And there you have it. And then those are the bull horns there that are hanging there, up there. Okay.
He's an agent. Okay, well, it seems that, I guess that they are in compliance there. Well, there you have it, people. There you have it. Okay, on to the next case. Wow, I tell you, these cases are rolling today. There was a lot of people out there, but a lot of them are finding that they're in the wrong place. Listen, and some of these here are just easy to move right on along. Next case.
Microphone. Microphone. Microphone.
Yes. Okay, so we have here, okay, we have a disc jockey. Yes, and we have a disc jockey and we have a studio um, owner. Okay, studio owner.
Yeah. No way. No more. No more. You know, when it counts to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, that means sign off. Means sign off. There's no way you can just ride on the airways when you want to. There, I tell you know, in the lunch breaks, leaving and not making sure that things are still going, things are still playing when it's your things. You know, when we lease out these areas, we make strict rules of this, and we tell them over and over again. These are the do's and these are the don'ts. Tenant here complies with none of it. You know, um, complies with none. And we can't have that. When the cleaning crew shows up and they come in to vacuum and everything, it is heard all on the airwaves. I don't know what kind of hookup they're doing. I don't know. We can hear people ringing doorbells and all kind of stuff. I asked, did they have proper working equipment? Did they have everything, diffusers and all of that stuff? And they said yes. But we have yet to hear these things on air. Okay.
Tenant
Renting studio time here for my broadcast. Uh, it didn't come with directions. And my equipment that I had got ruined in a weather accident, so I had to go out and buy new equipment. Um, I thought that I hooked everything up perfectly, on several occasions. A lot of things that I purchased, I had to wait on the order um, for the shipment to come in because everything didn't come in at one time. So I apologize for the extra noises that they could hear in the background. And I apologize for all the other stuff that happened as well. When housekeeping comes in, of course I'm not there, but they already knew that I wouldn't be there, and I was told to leave the recording going, and I did just that. Now I can't handle the things that housekeeping do. Like if they run the vacuum cleaner over the cord and the cord comes out of the wall, there's nothing I can do about that. You know, I tried to tell them that, and they don't want to hear it.
Okay, hold on. Leasing owner.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. You know, we have several broadcasts going on in different areas, and um, I'm not going to name them or none of that stuff. We have people coming in, prominent people, famous people, some of the Discovery people there coming in. At the same time, we have people coming in looking for employment and all kind of stuff. Um, you know, he takes his lunch breaks there, dinner breaks, uh, all kind of stuff. Every meal you could think of there. And I told him I had no problem with it. It's just you're not diffusing. People can hear that. They can hear the paper, they can hear the crunching and all of that stuff. They can hear the sipping and gulping. And, you know, it is a business professional. I can't tell him what to do all the way because it is his own private business, but he's using our airwaves there, and he's using and leasing our area, one of our areas there, and it was already all a fine print, you know. Now, if he can come up with better excuses than blaming everything on housekeeping, then maybe we could talk.
Leasing tenant.
Yeah, you know, I generate a lot of listeners, and I'm not blaming everything on housekeeping. Now, I also have the microphone, stuck up there between my teeth. I have another microphone stuck there between my two teeth there. And I explained to him that taking the microphone out is hard, so I just added a filter in. They can hear a little bit of it, but they can't hear all of it. When I get my other shipment in, then I won't need to do that. And I explained that to him. And one of your other occupants had um, took one of my other shipments in that I had the diffuser for one of my other microphones, and they I don't know if they delivered it to the wrong area or if they thought that the package belonged to them because we share the same name. Now, when it comes to my breaks and everything like that, and like I use the facilities, of course they can still hear some of that because some of that is connected. But I personally, I really don't think that they hear all of that. I don't think that they hear everything that he is saying that they hear as a listener there.
Okay. Um, can you all hold on a second? Okay. Uh, Leasing owner.
Now, understand what he's saying. Uh, but how would he feel if I keep telling him, hey, when you have your off time, you need to listen in to your own stuff. If you listen in to your own stuff, then you will hear all the complaints, you know. And that is the problem that we're having. He does not want to edit, and he does not want to go in and listen to his own things. Um, the other people, yes, they have their things going on and they have their delivery areas. The sharing of the same name has been a problem. But I don't see any mix up there when it comes to seating. They know they're seating, and I don't understand none of that stuff. Now, when the AC adapter ended up over there, and they couldn't find the yellow cordial, I told him, if I was to go to my toolbox and give you the yellow cordial, then you can use the yellow cordial. You know, I have no problem with that. But because he knew that we were going to be here today, he didn't want to listen to that. So he ran the yellow cordial connector with the other guy that he's sharing a name with. And when he did that, some more stuff got mixed up. And when he logged on and started broadcasting uh, everything from his side, went over to his side, and people started being able to hear all of his business and everything that was going on when he was supposedly was on a break, and it sparked a big problem.
Janet?
Yeah, you know, being in the industry like that is kind of hard. Again, like I said, maybe I probably should have waited a couple of weeks before I decided to really just broadcast and all of that stuff. But, time is time and people are people and, things have to get going. Um, we have since had a discussion about what happened there, and everybody was apologized to, and he also acknowledges that some of it is his fault as well, because usually the you know this guy here usually has people come in and hook everybody's stuff up that needs to be hooked up the way it needs to be hooked up. All of a sudden, when he just started sending people here, he just stopped doing all that. I'm not the first one he's brought here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be many others.
Okay. Leasing agent.
That's because, the kind of business I'm in, people don't take to me and they want to go elsewhere. They use me to get to where they want to be, and then they go elsewhere, you know. And I think that some of the things that he's doing on purpose to get elsewhere. And that's it. And that's why today, right now, no other time, just him, nobody else, we're moving forward.
Moving forward. Okay. That's it, people. They're moving forward. Okay. On to the next case. Okay, let's see here. Hmm. Okay, this is a practice. This is a private practice here. Gynecology. Okay, we have
nursing staff. Okay. A business owner? Yeah. Nursing station has caused a lot of problems in my practice here. And we can't, continue um, to move forward with business. And we have called in a whole new nursing staff for our gynecology practice. Tenant? Yeah. Um, you know, I uh, nursing staff it grows, and you can't predict how many babies are coming into the world. And we can't predict a lot of things that is going to happen in our positions. Why she decides to end her term at her practice, we don't need to try to figure that out. The only thing that we need to think about is, um, you know, the patients there. We have patients that we have built and commune with, and they call us on a first name basis. Of course, it's a gynecology practice, but these are a lot of patients that are admitted due to a lot of gynecological problems, and they are there for a duration of time. Some of them have even been there for a year, and we have built up great um, friendship with these people. And I don't understand why would you just want to take your patients away from people that they highly trust and give them new people? Do they not understand that patients do not adjust well to new people? Owners? Yeah, yeah, we do. We do. Uh, they know very well why we're asking them to leave. Um, this is not going to be a hypocrisy of a Hippocratic thing here. This is not something that that needs furthering to the nurses' affiliation aid staff there. They know the private things that they have did outside of their job duties there, and the people that they invite and all of that stuff. Again, it is a in-bed facility, and we can't have people walking the halls, you know, yelling out stuff stinks and all of that stuff, or yelling out, other obscene things. We can't have that happening there. Tenants. Yeah, you know, I I'm not going to address that at all. Um, we don't have people walking the halls. We're professional nurse staff. Now, what happens at the nurses station? Yes, there are a lot of jokes and laughs and all of that stuff. But it's not amongst us. Um, there are people that come in. We can't we can't control other visitors. Of course, we have some patients that have severe problems where they have to keep their legs up for a long period of time. And we have those patients that have to be on their all fours and their knees for long periods of time. Um, yes, it is a very distinctive um, facility, and yes, things linger and lurk throughout the halls. But we, as a nurse and as our staff and our station, we have signs posted. We have did that. We have our extra security, and we did that, and we have our cameras and all of that stuff.
But as far as all the obscene things, we're not holding responsibility to any of that stuff. No. Okay, owners. Well, I have nothing else to say. I am just through. Okay, so are you moving forward with litigation? Yes. Yes, I guess we're going to move forward with litigation. I have a couple of witnesses. Um, I have some more people that have come from the committee and the nurses affiliation staff there. And I have a couple of previous patients. And hopefully this can be resolved. And hopefully, by the time when we get there and everything gets out in the open, then we can have this resolved.
Okay. There you have it, people. Let's see. I don't think we have any more people out in the hall. Those that are out there are waiting on other things. So that is the end of mediation. That is magistrate mediation on air, and